today's race? You have always employed kind of, you and your teammate Jamie have always kind of employed a strategy of getting out of harm's way early and kind of waiting for that race to kind of unfold.
I'll tell you the truth, we've done that the last few times, and every time you do that, as soon as you get there, everybody wrecks. So the problem is, now with the way the track is, it's so much harder to pass because you can run 3 wide all the time. There's really no room for 4 wide. So the track position is a lot more important than what it used to be. You know, when you had the 2-car draft and you're pushing each other, you could really take your time. Now I think track position is important, and I think if you run up front, I think you can get out of trouble pretty easy.
And of course he qualified towards the front, qualifying in the 11th spot. That's where he'll start tonight.
By the way.
All right. I was giving you more credit than that. Everybody's been asking about heat inside these race cars. It's hot here.
This is nice. I don't know,
all of these guys are probably from, I'm from Michigan. It's hot here.
I mean, I was in Kentucky last week. That sucked. This is nice. Honestly, it was like over 100 degrees and it was dry, horrible. Like you gotta, like, honestly, they opened the door of the airplane and we're like, oh, they're really getting out of here. You know, we landed in the right place.
Do you do anything in particular, you know, going into Kentucky last week or knowing that it's going to be hot here? Do you do anything, have anything that allows you to stay cool in that race car?
Yeah, I stay in the air conditioning. I really don't. I always drink a lot before the races, and, you know, the only, like for me personally, the night race itself is a lot of fun. The day of the race is horrible. Because, you know, I wake up really early. I got kids in there, so I always wake up early, like 6:30, 7 o'clock. And when you got, first thing you gotta do, it's right now, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You really got a long day in your box, so that's the only bad thing.
And we'll talk about his foundation and some things coming up at Homestead in just a second, but people always ask, what is the driver's hobby? And I know you've got a couple of them, and you've shared some of those with me. Anything that flies is one Pablo's.
Yeah, I play golf. I fly a lot of radio control planes and helicopters. I do a lot of windsurf. No, this time of the year is pretty bad because there's no wind. That's kind of off-season deal.
And what is the passion? I heard that you like model airplanes. Is there a passion for that?
Yeah, I mean, I have from airplanes that land in water to big-ass jets, you know? Yeah. Honestly, like the jets will, you know, I'll fly them, you know, probably 10 feet from me, come down, you know, wide open 200 miles an hour, and do passes and loops and rolls and things.
And let's talk about Homestead-Miami Speedway. Again, that's a place that you made your first start. Championship weekend coming up there in November. Obviously, the goal right now is to get the 42 Target Chevrolet into the chase for the championship. Talk about how this team has performed so far and your thoughts about getting in and getting a good run for the championship.
To be honest with you, our goals this year was making sure everybody works together. And we have, on my pit right now today, everybody that works, like basically, there's one person out of all the guys that traveled for the 42 car that was here last year. One person. That is the tire guy. That is the same tire guy I had in Indy cars back in 99 and 2000 with the same target team. So it's been hard because everybody, you know, when you have new people, everybody has their own ideas of where things need to go. And we changed a lot of personnel back in the shop. So while you know what I mean? I keep telling people, because you hire good people doesn't mean you're going to run good. You hire good people, they got to work together, they got to understand where the cars are, where the problems are. You got to make the cars better. And that's the process we've been doing, and we've been getting better. But, you know what I mean, it's a process. You can't go overnight and think, oh, you know, we hired this guy, you know, this guy is one of the smartest guys in the garage, we're going to be fine. It will be fine long term. You know what I mean? But, you know, people like results in 3 weeks, and you ain't going to get results in 3 weeks.
Well, and we'll watch him tonight. We'll ask him what his thoughts are going into tonight in a moment. But there's other things that Juan and his wife Connie do besides just race cars and show up at the track and talk to fans, and that is work in foundations that support kids, and you have a foundation called Formula Smiles. Talk about that and how important that is to you.
Well, we have a foundation back in Colombia, and what we do, we look after kids, provide, you know, in the mornings the PE classes for the public schools, afternoon, just look after the community, keep the kids off the streets, and, you know, try to educate the kids through sports. And And right now, you know, we've got about 5,000 kids, and so it works pretty damn well. So one of the things we do for Homestead is actually we do a package with the Homestead Speedway. Apart from your ticket, you actually get to do a personal meet and greet with, like, you know, people that buy the tickets, and it works really well. You know, I mean, it's the last race of the year. You know, we'll do something like this, but actually in a private room, so it's pretty cool.
And it's $142. How many people are already planning on being at Homestead-Miami Speedway? 1, 2, 3. All right, good. $142 and an opportunity to sit down with you, like you said, kind of in more of a intimate atmosphere.
Yeah, people get to ask questions, and we chat for like 20 minutes, half hour. It's a pretty cool thing what we do.
All right, well, that's $142, and it goes towards the kids in Colombia.
$42 goes to the foundation.
There you go. All right, got to ask you the question before we let you go. Daytona, under the lights, tonight, your thoughts, and can you win the race?
I'm not a magician, but I can tell you that it's, you know, restricted plate racing, it's 90% good luck and 10% pure freaking luck. You know, it is. You know, I mean, we run wide open the whole time. The first thing you gotta do is make sure. I think mistake number one you do in Daytona and restricted plate races is wrecking the pits. There's a lot of. For some reason, this is the place where the most wrecks happen on pit road here in Talladega. So you gotta make sure you come into the box. When you leave the box, make sure nobody's coming. You give it serve. You know what I mean? You're not gonna lose or gain anything by wrecking in the pit. So I think that's number one. And apart from that, you gotta make sure you make, you know, you gotta make some aggressive moves, but smart moves, and you know, all you can do is give yourself a chance. You know what I mean? If your motor and your car is fast enough and you can push people, you've been looking good. If your car doesn't go anywhere and you can't push people, then you need a little more luck.
All right, one more quick question, then we'll let you go. What about how important is the spotter? And I'm not sure all these people understand how the spotter works. Can you take us through that and how important it is here at Daytona?
Well, the spotter normally is very important because it tells you, you know, when you're passing people, whether they're clear, whether they're there. Here it's a little harder because you're running 3 wide or 4 wide, so it's like 2 out of 4, or, you know, middle 3. And when he says clear, especially at the end of the race, you like go to the top, it means now. If you go to the top and you hesitate, by the time you make the move, somebody's there already. So when he says clear or gum or do, you gotta do it. You know, something that and I've watched a couple of races in the roof, is from the roof everything happens a lot calmer than in the car. In the car it's a lot more hectic, cars are bouncing around, you know what I mean? So in the roof you get a better picture. And in the roof you can tell, okay, go to the top because this is the lane moving. And you know, I mean, the spotter is a big part of how good your day goes, I think.
There you go. Anybody think Juan Pablo can win tonight? All right, how about a nice round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, Juan Pablo Montoya.